guys have been waiting for this video. Now, we've got a few things that we need to talk about regarding the VXR because I keep getting asked how many raffle tickets are sold and all that sort of stuff. The raffle is still going ahead, so there is roughly 70, 80 tickets sold, so there's still quite a bit to go. Now, there is a cut-off, well, there will be a cut-off point with the amount of tickets, but again, the time will just keep going until all the tickets sold. But it's one of them things where, you know, you can't really predict people buying it. So we have taken some measures to actually propel, that sounds like a nice car, loud, but we have taken some measures to propel the actual raffle so somebody can enjoy it. Jack, what are you doing?
Me?
You're in the VXR road.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Jack, it's road. Why are you driving it?
It's fine.
What do you mean it's fine?
It's fine.
Wait. No misfire. Engine's ticking over quite smooth. Wait, what? Okay, I think it's time we take you back in a little bit so you can see exactly what happened. Stripping down this. Hour and a half. So you may be wondering exactly what is going off with this Corsa right now. There is obviously one option. There's only one reason we bought it in here. The raffle is not ended. The raffle is still going on, but we're about to put a fourth piston in this VXR. So the lucky winner who does win this car, it is going to be running. It's not going to be forged. It's just going to be a Vauxhall piston that we're putting in, standard size. We've checked the bore and everything already, so that's not damaged. We've got all the other parts as well to go on it, to fix it all up and get it all running again for you guys. So this is a big opportunity for somebody to win an actual working VXR. Now, we did have to put some other wheels on it. We had to borrow jacks temporarily. Some of the wheels was a little bit flat and the dust caps had seized on, so we just switched them over. We managed to get the one off the back to pump it up a little bit enough just to get it in here so we can start fixing it. So as I said, the plan with this, we're going to fix it. You guys are coming along for the journey. We're going to strip all this engine down, which is, oh, it's ready. It's ready to go. But we're going to strip it all down, put a piston in this so it's all running, and yeah, the raffle is still going on. So hopefully this will spark the sale of this car as well with the raffle. So if you want to buy a ticket, link down below. She will be fixed. She will be running by the end. So you will have a chance to win a fully working Corsa VXR. What you do with it, entirely up to you. But let's get stuck in. This is going to be in a few parts for your guys' entertainment as well. So let's go. We're taking the front bumper off and the lights. This is going to allow us to work on the engine and take it all up to pieces without actually damaging anything that's on the car. The next step for us is to keep stripping parts off the car and drain all the fluids. We're draining the oil and the coolant, letting them all fill up and empty it over time. While that's going off, we start stripping the top end of the car out. We're taking the induction pipe off along with the cover for the coil pack itself. We then are going to start taking the airbox out with the cone filter along with the coil pack and pulling that forward. So we're taking off the crash bar and the slam panel. This will allow us to pull the radiator forward. This will let us get to the bolts on the manifold. So this will give us plenty of room to untighten them and get our hands down there. We've taken out the spark plugs. This will aid us later on, which we'll get to very, very soon. We then decided that we was going to take the whole slam panel off instead of certain sections. This will aid us get into the front of the car, like when we're taking the turbo off and such like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to start checking the bore. So right here I've got a little endoscope plugged straight into the phone. So if you look there, wait, you can't see Jack but on the camera, but we can now. We can now. So it doesn't have to be amazing quality. This will allow us just to check the bore inside the piston 4 to make sure that there's no scorchers or anything like that. What you want to be seeing is you really want to be seeing like a crosshatch, don't you? Like a crosshatch pattern, so it's like it's even, no deep scores or anything like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you that exactly what the bore looks like. Right here, we're going to be placing the endoscope into the 4th cylinder, which is right here. To help us aid with that, we've got this little device which brings on the torch, which Curtis should be pointing here. There we, oh, we can see it. Oh, look at this guy. He's getting better. So Jack's going to put it straight down into cylinder 4. And if you look at the phone here, you'll see where his trails will go. This may be a little bit of a trial and error just to get it down there because it's not exactly a rigid hose. Oh. Oh. So here you can see the piston. You can even see the serial number on it. So right here, you can see that there's not any damage on the sides, no tears, no scuffs. We will try and put a 90-degree mirror on the end of the endoscope so you can see the sides of the bore. Right here is the bore you're looking at. Here is the piston. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the 90-degree on. It is a little bit of a mirror on it, which is a bit weird. It's not very clear, but we will try and put that on now and show you the actual bore itself. And we're back. So Curtis, get a bit closer on this right here. This here, ignore that. That's an issue with the actual lens itself. It's like a little bit speckly. But what you can see here, if Jack stays still, if you see the scores, you've got scores going like a crisscross pattern. That is exactly what you want to see. You don't want to see any really deep scores, because if you're seeing that, then obviously you need to get it rebored. But in this case, we've already inspected this ahead of time, and all is looking pretty damn good. You can see Jack just spinning the camera around there, so you're seeing all the way around the bore. Jack's getting a little bit happy. So that being said, we can go ahead and start obviously putting the 4th piston in. This was one of them things where we checked this before we decided to do this to make sure that it didn't need reboring, because if we needed it reboring, you have to send the engine off, and it costs a lot of money to basically do that. That's why forging engines does cost a lot, because you do have to have it rebored out, because you're putting essentially bigger pistons in. Jack's carrying on stripping down this. It's taking the exhaust off at the minute. But what I do want to show you guys is something we've been working on. If you're following the Rusty Autos page, you will see that. So follow me. Right, so in this room right now, obviously we've cleared all this out. Now what we're working on is we are working on these. So triple pillar pods that direct fit for the Corsa VXR, Corsa DVXR, Corsa EVXR. These literally fit straight in your pillar, connect all together. They will come primed. We're selling these. We will be producing these permanently. As you can see down on the bottom shelf, there is another one. So if I get that out, you will see that they are identical. So here we go. Both identical, both ready to go. We will be packing these, selling these. We'll be working on other cars as well. We won't just be doing triple pillar pods for these. We'll do the doubles, the singles. We are branching out here at Rusty Autos. we also will be looking at doing a specific splitter kit for the Corsa VXR as well, and other future projects. So look out for that. Custom Rusty Auto stuff, big stuff right here. Now it's time to remove the manifold and the turbo. So what's happening here is all the bolts are getting undone. The oil pipe, oil return pipe and the coolant pipe are all being taken off the turbo. Then the bolts for the manifold are all being undone. We are also going to have to take off the induction pipe to the turbo as well. That's going to have to come off to allow us to get to the last bolt for the manifold. Once you've removed all the bolts from the inlet manifold and the stuff from the turbo, this will allow you to pull it all away from the engine block itself. Make sure you're moving away all the gaskets, and obviously once that's now been done, we can check the turbo. There's no plate on this, there's no split fins or anything like that, so we are all good. She spins really nice. So with that being said, without tripping over, we are going to end this video here, this first video. So hopefully you guys are as excited as us about fixing this. She's looking very sorry for herself, if Curtis just wants to pan the camera around. She's got a long more way to go. So again, this is why we're going to do it in parts for you guys, so you can watch the whole process. Again, if you guys want a chance to win this VXR, website down below, make sure you're buying a raffle ticket. Again, there'll be no change in the amount of raffle tickets that's getting sold, exactly the same, so this will benefit somebody so much. So make sure you aren't missing out, and make sure you have your notification icon on, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any parts of this rebuild.